The Super Over Podcast.
With me, Jemi.
And it's me, Jemimah Rodrigues.
Hello, welcome to episode 3 of the Super Over Podcast. I'm Liam Flint, and as normal, I'm joined by former South Africa all-rounder JP Duminy. Still doesn't feel right that I'm saying that. And current India batter Jemimah Rodrigues. And here we are again to chat some more cricket. JP, how are we doing?
Good, buddy. How are you guys doing?
Fresh.
Good, thank you.
It's been an eventful few days, all that's happening over the world. So it's good to be able to still speak about certain things, but also taking stock of what's happening around the world.
But in a funny kind of way, it seems like uneventful for you two, and especially you, Jem. You're now home for a while, aren't you?
Yeah. We were supposed to have some domestic tournaments right now, but all have got cancelled because of this virus. But actually, it's a blessing in disguise because I needed some rest from cricket. So it's good in a way.
Exactly.
Just chilling at home with family and friends.
Yeah, we made a joke off air, didn't we, JP, that it feels like you're just normal people for a couple of weeks with no expectations.
Yeah, it's been interesting. Obviously, we feel for people affected, and this is going to affect the economy in a massive way. But, just trying to see the silver lining in it in somewhat, being able to take stock of where you are in your life and just rest for a bit. But as I said, we actually don't know the effects yet. It is going to be drastic. I gather that. But I think the important thing is just to understand where you are in your life and just gather just an understanding of what's happening with you and where you want to go in life. So it's an ideal time to just kind of reflect and take stock.
Exactly. I know you've had a few busy months now. Jemi, you, of course, with the World Cup as well. What's the best thing about home comforts now? What are you most looking forward to?
For me, it was the food because I really miss home food. Because no, I'm a pure non-vegetarian, so no paneer, only chicken, fish at home.
Okay, all right.
So my granny's special gravy that she makes that I really love. It's a fish curry and some chicken with it and rice. So that's my favorite.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, you didn't get that in Australia? Sort of Indian cuisine?
It's not that I didn't, but there's nothing like home food. You cannot compare that food to home food, especially granny's. Means her hand food. So yeah.
Especially grannies. So did you say the word vegetarian there, Jemi?
No, I'm a pure non-vegetarian, I said.
Oh, okay. I thought we were going to fall out for a minute.
So it's interesting. It's interesting how Asians pronounce that you eat chicken or meat, or they use the word vegetarian still, but it's just a non-vegetarian. That's an interesting thing. I've always found that interesting because when you particularly when you're at a buffet in India, they will say the signs will say vegetarian or non-vegetarian. It's very very weird.
Wow. Yeah. As soon as I heard you say that, I said, "Oh, she must be vegetarian." Because we would just, we'd say meat eater or veggie. There's no,
exactly,
non-vegetarian. But then you said fish and chicken,
okay.
So, okay.
No,
Look at us. We're tearing down these cultural barriers an episode at a time.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your World Cup experience, Jim. I know it wasn't the ideal ending, but I mean, there was, I'm sure, lots of positives to take out. And personally, I know we spoke briefly about how it wasn't necessarily the tournament that you had hoped for yourself. But what in terms of your reflections, where you at?
I think, this was one of the best experiences I've had because I had the World Cup even last year in West Indies. But, there was so much of difference compared to the last World Cup to this, the way, people were, coming for our games. Like not just the final game, means that is something totally out of the box, but each and every game and the kind of support we've got even from Indian fans, they traveled all the way, for every game they were there.
Oh, wow.
And we didn't feel like, we were in Australia or something like that. I felt like I was playing in Mumbai, like in front of my home people and all that. But it was like a crazy experience. Although, things didn't go the way we wanted it to go. Like, especially for me, as I told you before, like, I didn't have the tournament I really wanted. But, it's good to know that this is what my mom told me actually, that you don't realize that when you don't see things happening, that's the time God is working the most in your life. So
Awesome.
that's the way you're supposed to take it and move ahead. And especially the finals, I think, was, you know, like a crazy experience. I remember
Is
my
it?
teammates saying they were playing at the MCG. This was the first time I played at the MCG, but they were saying that they were they have played at the MCG where there were hardly, like, it was fully empty, like nobody. And that night to play the finals with the full stadium packed, like one heck of experience. Like even for me, I standing over there, I'm like, wow. Even before the match started, I was like, whatever's going to happen today, I'm just happy to be a part of this match. And like it was like something like women's cricket, it never happens. But that time, that night, to see the kind of support over there, like that was one of the best things. And I said this on my social media platforms too, that even though we didn't win that night, but women's cricket definitely won, and I believe it's just the beginning.
Yeah, man. So it's amazing to see how you can have that perspective when you're saying that women's cricket is the winner. But I mean, the amazing thing is, when you walk off that field having lost the game as you did, one doesn't necessarily have that perspective first up, because obviously disappointment set in. And I'm interested to know how was the change room environment? Were there quite a few tears? What was the mood like? Who was the one that kind of spoke after the game? Did you stand up and take the lead?
No, I was out of words. If I would speak, I would start crying. So I just kept my mouth shut at that time. No, but it's a different kind of a feeling. Like you can't express it. Actually, after I got out, I just didn't know what was happening around me. And then when we knew that we are going to lose this match, I really didn't know how to react. Like what should I do? It was taking some time for us to sink in, because we work so hard. We were in Australia like for almost 45 days, because we had the tri-series too. And, like it took so much effort for us. Like our preparation didn't start just 10-15 days before the World Cup. We've been preparing from so long, playing together. Finally, we got our team combinations right and all that. But, at that night, things just didn't go the way we wanted it to go. So, like everybody was trying to play it cool, but inside we know that everybody was hurting and they just didn't want to show it. Yes, there were a few of them who wept that night, and then Harmanpreet Kaur came and spoke up to us. Like she's like, just take it in a positive way. Now we know which areas we need to work on and how we need to go. And just today, just make a promise to yourself and to one another that we are going to come back stronger. We're going to work even harder. And next year the World Cup is ours. So that's what happened on the ground in the huddle. And after that, then even our coach W.V. Raman sir spoke to us, and he also said, see, throughout the whole tournament, you guys have played some good cricket, and I'm really proud of that. Yesterday, we could have done much better, but just looking at the positive side of it, you all did what so many other people are dreaming to do. Like you all are playing the World Cup final. So that itself is a big thing, and we'd always be proud of you. So that was all the talk we had. So yeah, it was it was a really good experience if you go to see. Even I came back, like I didn't know how to react, and even at home when my mom or dad were talking about cricket at one point, I'm like, please don't talk about cricket, because I just need a break right now, because I was drained out after the final match, because I saved all that energy to keep my head keep me in the right headspace and everything. And after the final, I was completely drained out, and most of us in the dressing room were too drained out. And then yesterday my mom just called me. Like I wasn't sharing anything with them, because I'm not someone who likes to open up. My mom just called me and she hugged me. And when she hugged me, I just broke down. Broke down, and even my dad was there at that time, and they were like, I just want to tell you that we are in this with you, and we've always fought it out together, and we'll continue to fight it out together, because I didn't have the tournament I really wanted to have, and more than people's expectations, I couldn't live up to my expectations. But I really loved one thing that my mom said. She's like, see, a seed, when it's buried, when it's put inside the soil and they covered it, it's all dark all around, doesn't know what is happening. But it's important for it to be in that dark place so that it can shoot higher and, become everything God's created it to be. Just imagine if the seed is just kept on the table in a comfortable place, the seed won't become everything that, it's created to be. But the seed actually needs that dark place for, it to shoot up and become everything that it's created to be. So my mom's like, it's the same thing. Like, God has his ways. I know it's hurtful. I know it pains, but, as his child, we can trust him enough and we can know that he loves us so much that he'll never let us down. And she asked me, did he ever let you down till now? Did he ever forsake you or fail you? I'm like, no. And then she's like, what? He won't start now, so don't worry about it. And just know that you are in this dark place, but when your time comes, when God lifts you up, the whole world will know that, he's the one holding you and he never lets his children down. So, that's the kind of moment that we had yesterday. And actually, it was a kind of restoration even for me and my family, my mom and my dad, because I'm not someone who shares much with them, but just to pour out my heart and just to tell them actually made me feel better. And, I could just see that bond growing stronger. So that was the kind of experience we had.
Wow.
That's awesome, man. Wow. Thanks for sharing that.
That's such a cool insight.
Something that came to mind now when you spoke about the soil going into the ground and the dark space. If we think about, that's the foundations of basically the seed kind of being fruitful, isn't it? So we don't see the roots sort of branching out at the bottom, and that's our foundation. So if you think about the hard work that you guys put in terms of behind the scenes, so you spoke about how you didn't just start with the preparations 15 days before. It's been years and years, and nobody sees that. So that's the foundation of what you're doing, and then all of a sudden you get to this final and you don't cross the line. So now it feels like you haven't achieved. But there's so much that you can think of that you guys have done well in. So there's so much to take away from it, So man, that's a great, inspiring, encouraging story. Your mom's a wise lady, eh?
Yeah, that's what Liam said yesterday.
Yeah, preach it. Yeah. We all know it. Now the world knows it.
Yeah, 100%. So Liam, I had this question for you, Liam.
Okay, hit me.
You made mention that you are changing jobs. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so most people won't be aware. I do a lot of work in sports media. I do a lot of podcasting and radio, which is how I managed to tap these two up into giving their time away so freely and to do this. And yes, in a couple of weeks' time, I'm going to be moving jobs. Well, it's very much a different change of direction. So I'm going to be working for my church in a leadership trainee position, which is really exciting. So it's going to be very different. Normally, I'm used to speaking to athletes and talking to cricketers, footballers. So it's going to be something very, very different. So the podcast is now going to be my sole way of funneling all the sport fanatic I have inside me and chatting with these two. So yeah, a bit of change on the horizon.
Nice.
But yeah,
Pastor Liam Flint on the way.
Well, who knows? Has a nice ring to it, but we've got a long way to go yet. So trainee being the key word.
But well, I hope it all goes well, buddy.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm excited, and I'm thinking what it would be like to play in front of 80,000 plus people. I'm trying to picture. That is monstrous numbers we're talking about. Must have been intimidating, Jem, to start with.
Yeah, to start with it was, but it was more encouraging for us. Like so many people come out to watch our game and like, come on, we got to play the best cricket we can. So it was actually one of the best experiences I have had till now. And actually what happened was when I saw like these 87,000 people and I just looked back and I saw my mom and dad waving at me like that. And that moment, that thought just came to my mind that, no matter what's going to happen today, like, I know they will just love me for who I am. Like JP had said, they won't love you because you perform or you don't perform today. So I knew they would always have my back and I could just go out and just be myself.
Yeah. And that's such a crucial thing in relationships, particularly with sports people, actually in general, with kids and parents. Something, it has been so relevant for me as being a young father, in understanding that kids just want to be loved no matter what they do, whether they get it wrong, whether they put in a great performance, whether they literally just drawing a picture. I mean, my daughter's often coming to, find me, Papa, look here, look here, look here. And it can literally be anything. And it's so amazing to hear that your parents responded the way they did, particularly when you got home, when they said to you, we love you no matter what happens. And that's honestly my wish for any parent out there, any young sportsman, is to have that experience of pure love beyond performance. Because that's, I mean, if we think about Jesus, right? And imagine he only loved us if we got it right, if we didn't sin, or if we had to be this perfect Christian. I mean, we
never qualify.
No, we'll never qualify. And the only way we qualified is by our unqualification, really. The fact that he died on the cross for us and what he did for us. And that's what qualifies us. So that's the beauty of it, isn't it?
Yeah, from what you're saying, Jemi, especially with your parents, clearly they've helped you so much in the highs and lows. JP, do you remember a similar thing when you were at the height playing some really big games? Is that support structure around you, having your wife, then going on to have your kids? I mean, how pivotal is that to keeping you focused and not getting too high or too low? Yeah,
it is truly been the foundation of who I am, particularly in the last 5 years. I think the beauty of this discussion is seeing Jem, who is 19 years old, having those experiences at such a young age. Because I think I put myself in that situation at her age. I based my identity on my performance. And that wasn't because my parents didn't love me, but that was because I thought that is who I was. I was only the cricketer beyond and not beyond that, So yeah, pretty much when I came to know Christ and walked the journey with him, that then changed my perspective and view of what a relationship looks like, and that I am qualified by my unqualification. Yeah, if I think back to moments of intense times on the field, those are the things that are your foundations to keep you going, man. And particularly in the last 5 years, it's been really an enjoyable experience, being able to be free in my heart and my mind and my spirit, to know that it doesn't matter what I do, he's gonna love me. My support structure loves me. True. And believe me when I say this, I don't say this like it was easy. It wasn't, because you're constantly judging yourself. You're constantly questioning yourself, because the world questions you. The world judges you on a day-to-day basis. So you then kind of, in your introspection, kind of wondering whether these people are what they are saying, or whether it's true. And with the world of social media, people feel that they own you, so they can pretty much tell you what they want. So you've got to sift through that and make sure that your foundations are strong, and who are you. So that has been my kind of experience. I mean, that's the long and short of it, but it's been an amazing journey thus far. Yeah.
Even just hearing you now say Jemi's 19, I'm like, oh yeah, of course she is. I always forget, we're talking about this as if it's, Jemi, you had your shot, and I'm afraid you're not going to be a World Cup winner. It's like, wait, she's 19, so she's got what, seven more World Cups, maybe, something like that, crazy. So
why not?
Yeah, even I forget sometimes.
She did say that she wants to be the captain one day as well, so
that's it.
You never know.
She's not getting out of that one.
Yeah. We did this giveaway. Was it last week, Liam?
Yeah, last week. I think pretty much we kicked it off. Yeah, pretty much a week ago. So this is timed nicely.
Yeah, so I'm quite excited to announce the winner. Well, firstly, let's first start with why we did it. Firstly, I had a spare pair of spikes laying around. With me not playing anymore, I thought I'll put it to good use and bless somebody with this pair of spikes. And I've been very grateful to Adidas, who I've walked the journey with and been sponsored by for the last 8 years. And they were gracious in the fact of allowing me to be able to do something like that. And so we thought we'll use the spikes. And yeah, what a great opportunity to bless somebody, isn't it?
Yeah, turns out you do actually have some fans out there, JP, who do value your shoes. That was good, isn't it?
Well, it'd be a difficult thing if the guy that wings it is a size 12. He's gonna have to squeeze it. I'm a UK 9.
He'll just have to put it on the mantelpiece or frame it somehow.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I was not from South Africa, otherwise I would have also come in this.
Yeah.
Maybe you should do it international, man, now.
Yeah.
Like, not just South Africa. That's
Jemi.
not fair.
Jemi, you have no idea. The amount of people who have got in touch saying, how can you only do it to South Africa? JP, you've got fans from across the globe. So, it's been a tough one to win.
Yeah, for sure. So, it is... can we get a drum roll?
Drum roll to the point where I lost my phone.
And there goes the camera. And the winner is all the way from Cape Town, South Africa, Francois van Eck. Yeah.
Hey. Well done, Francois.
So Francois van Eck, I think it is. So his Instagram handle is Francois_van_Eck. So we'll obviously post that on Instagram as well. So well done, Francois.
Well done, Francois.
I hope you are a size 9 UK.
Yeah, and if not, you're going to have to just cut holes in the toes so that you could do it. I think it'll sit nicely in a cabinet somewhere. I think it needs to have its pride of place. I wouldn't want to touch it in case I ruin them. So
yeah.
Okay.
It was weird because it actually felt like when I signed the spikes itself, it looked so clean and neat, like it belonged there. That's the signature. So maybe I should have a conversation with Eddie to bring out a JP.
Oh, yeah.
Pair. Who knows?
Yeah, they're all doing it. They all do it now, yeah. No reason why you shouldn't. Yeah, so I think that worked quite well. I mean, a massive thanks to everybody who has entered, who has done the necessary steps. And as we said, this one was a South Africa only one. So we will be doing more coming up. We're just having a conversation actually about the fact that we're going to do some more. So Jemi is going to be up next. We'll put some details on in the coming weeks as to how you can enter that one. So if you haven't won this one, which obviously 99% of you haven't, there will be more opportunities and more prizes. So yeah, thank you very much to everyone who entered. And Francois, go and have a drink, celebrate.
And here's the beauty, it only gets better in terms of the giveaways, because we're going to have an item from World Cup finalists, World Cup final. So
a future captain.
No pressure, Jem, to pull out all stops. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, now I'll have to go and check for stuff.
Yeah, I think we should dictate to her a little bit. I think we should say we'd like a signed India shirt by Sachin, by Virat. Yeah. This could be fun.
So just going forward in terms of what's happening around the world, in the world of cricket, let's sort of focus on cricket a little bit. Obviously, the coronavirus has caused quite a bit of mayhem, not only in cricket but around the globe in terms of sport. But it's been interesting to see how, firstly, the South African tour got cancelled. In India, obviously Australia and New Zealand as well. Just seeing them play in an empty stadium, it just didn't.
It's
very
weird.
Right.
Have you guys ever played in empty stadiums?
I have played.
Domestically.
Okay, Jemi, when we say empty, we mean because people can't be there. Surely there were some fans in there. Hopefully it wasn't a really empty stadium.
That was my family sitting there, so it wasn't empty.
They made all the noise that was needed. Yeah. It must be a very strange experience. I mean, the fans are everything to you guys, aren't they? It makes it what it is.
Oh yeah, it does. Yeah, it will actually be weird. Like not even one person, just the security guards over there, and like I think I heard something on the social media where like they were actually shouting. I think it was Australia and New Zealand. They were actually shouting, "Okay, shift your position here." But then they realized the stadium is empty, so they couldn't even speak softly. So it's actually kind of weird, seeing that. But I think so. It's the right thing to do because you don't want, your national stars, the cricketers and all, or for that even the crowd, to catch this virus when you can actually prevent it. So I think so. It is the right thing they have done. What do you say, JP?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think the precautionary measures that has been put in place by the governments of pretty much every country is the right one, and we have to respect that. Some of the major sporting events around the globe have been postponed, and none more than the IPL. I mean, it's going to be weird to not
Oh,
see.
yeah.
Well, we don't know if it's completely
Yeah.
done, but to see it postponed now till I think it's the 15th of April for now. I think a lot of players are pretty disappointed about that. That is a sort of flagship tournament on the cricketing globe at the moment, and everybody enjoys playing in the IPL, and the fans love it as well. So it's disappointing, but at the end of the day, our health and well-being is of utmost importance. Even so, more the fans, because I mean, you're going to have a lot of people in crowded places and so forth. I think if you think about a stadium, the players are probably the safest, and you have to think about the masses of people that come in to come and support. So we have to look out for them as well. So yeah, it's gonna be disappointing if the IPL doesn't go on and take place. But it's a bit of a waiting game, I suppose.
Yeah, and feel sorry for Sourav Ganguly right now, as he kind of is the poster boy for give us answers, BCCI, what are you doing? And he's trying to just say, guys, we'll revisit it. We're going to try and do it, but feels like the whole nation of India is just after it at the minute. So yeah, spare a thought for Sourav. But yeah, we took to Twitter with this. So in the last few days, we did a little poll, and the question was very simple: do we wait and just keep delaying the IPL until fans can return? I mean, at this point, that could be months down the line. Or should the IPL carry on, but just with empty stadiums, as we've just said? Now, 66% of our listeners believe that the IPL should just play and there should be empty stadiums. So, guys, what do you think about that? If there was a choice, delay until we can actually have fans, or crack on with empty stadiums, which side of the poll are you guys on?
So I think there needs to be a bit of context shared with that before we make a decision. The reason why I say that is because if you're going to continue to delay it, that's going to possibly rule out a few players to actually take part in the tournament based on their international duties. If it doesn't happen at all, there's going to be a lot of money lost, not only for players, but pretty much everybody around the globe, because everyone is affected by it. You think about the broadcasters that paid millions and millions of dollars for the event, to host the event. I'm sure BCCI would lose quite a chunk of money as well. So there's so many facets to take into consideration. So I think my call on it is last resort. I think it should still carry on without anybody in the stadium, just to make sure that we there's a continuation with it, but also that you tick a few boxes in the process, and I think players will probably opt for the same as well.
Yeah, actually, what makes IPL is actually the crowd.
No, I get that.
That would be the saddest thing. But as JP said, he has a point, because if we keep delaying it, then it will hamper the international the schedule and everything of the players, and we won't get the best quality cricket too. So even I agree with JP. I think since we have this access through broadcasting and all that, I think it should just continue through closed doors, empty stands. It will be kind of weird, but I think if in India, if you don't have it and you keep delaying it, it will get even more worse with the fans, because they will be, we want an IPL, we want to watch cricket, we need this entertainment and all. So I think it should just carry on then.
Yeah.
And there's a great opportunity now where there's a little bit more time on people's hands for the BCCI to possibly look at a women's IPL, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know there's been a bit of talk around it, so it'll be interesting to see how that unfolds.
Yeah. So I think it's high time now BCCI also should start a women's IPL, because if you look at it, like the Big Bash and the Kia Super League, you've seen the standard of cricket has grown so much after that. And if they are doing it, if they are doing it so much and we can see their cricket improve, even in India, I think it's time, we should start an IPL, especially after, this World Cup and, the whatever experiences we had. Like, this was a discussion even in the test, that it's high time, we should start an IPL, because that playing matches against the best, that's what's going to raise the standard in India, and that's what's going to get, more talent, more players, in the limelight, and that can help India and even the bench strength. So yeah, I think it's high time, man.
Yeah.
And the amazing thing about the IPL is, and I think pretty much everybody will agree with this, India is where it is today. I'm talking about men's cricket now, and largely because of the IPL and the exposure that Indian players have got, and the experience that they've gained at a very early age. So you think about under 19 cricketers that make it or get an IPL deal early on in their careers. They get to mingle and play with some of the best players in the world and get to challenge themselves at the sort of, I guess you can almost call it like a level just below international standard. And I think it's really bloomed Indian cricket in a massive way. And I think in terms of women's cricket, we've seen the progress now with you guys making the final of the T20 World Cup. And if there should be a IPL version in terms of women as well, I think it can only bolster the game in terms of women's cricket.
True.
I've got a concern though.
What's the concern?
Right.
I'm very concerned that if Jemi then gets into a women's IPL, we know how India are with their cricketers, right? They're really protective. Does that mean that Jemi will no longer be able to go over and play Women's Big Bash or come to the Kia Super League over here? She might just be locked down in India and we'll never see her over here again. So part of me thinks,
Yeah, I hear you.
So might need a word.
That is a bit of a dilemma, but it's a good dilemma. Don't worry.
Yeah. But see, you'll get one Jemi over there, but you'll get so many other people over here in India, getting better and getting that experience. So I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah.
We're gonna struggle to get on the podcast then.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you'll be off the list.
No.
Won't be having any of that.
Oh no.
We only want committed people.
Then I'll have to think about it. I'll have to think about what I've said now.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of Mumbai Indians, Jemi? I'm guessing you support Mumbai.
Yeah.
And obviously, JP, you've got Delhi connections. So does that mean you have to support them?
Not necessarily. I actually started my IPL career at Mumbai Indians. So my
Mumbai
first 2 years.
Right,
of course you did. Okay, so you got split.
My first 2 years were with Mumbai, and then I moved over to, back then it was Deccan Chargers. Now it's Sunrisers Hyderabad. And then I had 3 years at Sunrisers and then 3 years at Delhi. And then I finished off 2018 with another year at Mumbai. So I'm kind of torn.
I had come for the match at Wankhede Stadium.
Where, in 2018?
2018, yeah. Yeah.
Were you supporting me? Not really.
Of course.
She was looking.
I told you I knew you through my gym sir, Venancio. So he told me JP's there, and I guess you played that match. I am not that sure because I didn't know you personally, so that I would have followed you properly.
Yeah, she was looking down the lineups like JP Dumini. Who's that? Must be.
Yeah, exactly.
Must be some South African guy.
No, I wasn't that. I used to follow JP, but not as much as
as you do now.
Like knowing him now.
Yeah, he's got better. He's got better with age.
Now I know what all he's doing also. I know where he's traveling, going to the US and all that. So, I keep a track now.
Okay. One of my best experiences being part of the IPL has been, particularly in Mumbai and Delhi, was I got opportunities to visit a couple of Christian schools in Delhi, and also a church in Mumbai, where I got to share testimony. And I remember particularly in Delhi when I visited a school there, and there were 3,000 kids that I was speaking to. So that was an amazing experience just outside of the actual game itself. And then got to share testimony at a church in Mumbai as well. So yeah, there's some fun memories of IPL, man, not only on the field, some off-field stuff as well, getting opportunities to speak into people's lives and encourage them in a spiritual way as well, which has been awesome.
Well, the true mark of an IPL legend, as we now know, is to make it into our Super Over combined best IPL 11. Now, we thought, seeing as the IPL might be cancelled, postponed, it might not be what you want it to be, we thought, let's deliver the people what they want. And we're going to make up our own best IPL 11 ever. So I've asked these two to go away, do their homework, get the stats out, talk to some people, and we're all going to come back and hopefully condense this down into one super IPL 11. So I'm really excited about this. I think we've all been finding this really difficult, haven't we? It's tricky.
It's very difficult. Thanks, Liam,
Yeah.
for putting us in this position.
Yeah, I didn't realise. I thought it'd be a lot more straightforward than it was, actually, in reality. So we're just going to go down the order, 1 to 11, nice and simple, and we have to agree on each position before we move on. So should we start with the best ever IPL openers? We'll go for a pairing. JP, do you want to kick us off? It can only get better from there.
So I've got drum roll.
After everyone.
So I've gone with two left-handed, strangely enough.
Ah.
And I've gone with Chris Gale and Adam Gilchrist.
Okay. Very tasty.
Yes.
Jemi?
Yes.
I have gone with my favorite Rohit Sharma and a lefty, lefty always works, David Warner.
Okay.
Okay, I can see some battle lines being drawn straight away. Okay. I mean, these are all serious players, by the way. Okay, I've gone to, well, potentially, I'm cheating here. I've still got to make my mind up. I've definitely got Chris Gale at the top. I don't understand why Jemi's not got Chris Gale. And to partner him, with my India hat on, I've gone Virender Sehwag. Is there anyone better at the top of the order? But that's
actually a nice
his IPL record.
Actually a nice call.
Yeah, his actual record though is not as good as David Warner, who's a bit of a beast. So Gale, Warner. I think I'm going to go Gale, Sehwag, just because I just love Sehwag.
I'm going to suggest this based on our recommendations. I'm going to give it to my fellow colleague here, Jemimah, to pick an 11 out of our suggestion.
Okay, all right. We'll convince her.
Yeah.
Okay.
So who's your number 3, Jem?
My number 3 is King Kohli.
Same.
Number 3.
Right. You got number 3 there as well?
Obviously.
Yeah. So my number 3 is actually Rohit Sharma.
Okay, so I think Rohit's going to be in the top 3. I think we can say that.
Yeah. So my number 4 is Virat.
My number 4 is ABD.
Same. Me and Jemi are on same wavelength.
I've went AB at number 5. Actually.
Mate, too low. Get him in.
Actually, it's too low.
It's all about picking your 11. That's not the batting order.
Okay, rules have changed.
Okay, fine.
Okay, number 5. This may upset a few people, but for sheer box office value, I've gone for Kevin Peterson. Now,
not a bad shout.
His record's not amazing, but he has scored 100, and a few of the guys you've mentioned haven't scored 100. But I think
so the
he's
interesting
such
thing
a hero.
about KP, he was effective in the top 3 as a T20 player. Player. He always batted in the top 3, and he was prolific, particularly in international cricket as well.
Jemi, who have you got at 5?
No.
I got Russell.
Okay.
An all-rounder and just can smash those sixes.
Quite high in the order for Dre Russ, but we'll go with
Who's
that.
your number 6, Jem?
My number 6, Ben Stokes.
Okay, got you. I've gone with Kyron Pollard, number 6.
And I've gone for Dwayne Bravo. Because he's taken an insane amount of wickets and he can hit a long ball.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay, 7.
Mine is Mahendra Singh Dhoni.
Yeah.
He's my captain, my team captain too.
So boring. Predictable.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that Liam's gone the same way. So I'll just say my number 7 is Andre Russell.
Okay. So it looks like Russ is going to be in then if both of you have picked him. Okay, number
Who's
8.
your number 7? Who's your
8.
number 7? Dhoni.
Yeah, mine's Dhoni, but I've not made him captain. My captain's still to come.
Okay, got you.
Oh,
Who's your number 8?
okay.
Jem?
Now I've come to bowler, Bumrah, because he's the best right now in the world. So yeah, and good death over bowling.
Why don't we just make it? Your IPL Indian 11?
Hey, it's not Indian yet. I have Warner, I have ABD, I have Russell, I have Ben Stokes, and 2 more to come. Actually, 3 more. Out of that, the 3, even 1 more is an Indian. So
I did warn her about this.
Who's your number 8?
I've gone for Harbhajan.
Okay.
Because he's absolute IPL legend, can hold a bat at number 8.
Yeah.
All right. I've gone for Brett Lee.
It's a bit high for Brett. But then,
she's put Bumrah there at 8. What do you mean?
well, yeah, that is awful. Bumrah at 8, never.
No, he was not in my batting order. I just don't.
See, I've done batting order, which I think.
He'll go last. Okay, sorry.
He'll
go last.
7, then.
No, yeah.
Okay, so we're down to.
Bumrah will definitely be last.
Yes. 9, 10, 11. Yeah. Jem, what's your 9, 10, 11?
So I have Rashid Khan.
Mm-hmm. Who's your 10?
Good wrist
11?
spinner.
He's very good.
I have Mohammad Nabi and Jadeja.
That's a strong.
I've gone for an off-spinner.
You playing at Kolkata?
That is a lot of batting.
I don't know. I just thought because we have already so many batters up the order for my team, I think I had to strengthen my bowling side.
Man, that is a lot of batsmen all the way down there. Okay, JP, 9, 10, 11.
So my 9, 10, and 11 is Mullathran.
I didn't even think about him.
Yeah. Number 10 is Lasith Malinga. And number 11 is, come on, we got to have some celebrations. Imran Tahir.
Yeah. Lots of good.
I've actually put a 12th man in here, by the way.
Yourself?
Nah, I put Ben Stokes in there. He's my impact player.
Okay.
I don't need him to be consistent. I just need him to win me 1 or 2 games.
That's true.
Who's your 9, 10, 11?
My number 9, it was going to be Rashid Khan, but I'm going to put Shane Warne in there for leadership. He's my captain, so just purely for leadership. Okay. Lasith Malinga at 10 and Jasprit Bumrah at 11.
All right, cool.
So, Jemi,
nice one.
Our selections here. We need you to actually come up with our final 11 now.
Yes, based on what we said as well.
That's a tough thing, man. I'll need your help. It's very difficult to decide.
I think there's 2 Chris Gale, so you'll probably go with that.
And Rohit.
And Rohit Sharma.
Yeah, we're going with Rohit, okay.
Yeah.
And then Virat at 3, AB 4, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
True.
So we both had Andre Russell, so you're keeping him at 5?
Yep.
Pollard 6, happy?
Same.
Jemi, you didn't put Pollard, did you?
I didn't put Pollard, no.
Who did you?
No, she had Stokes.
Oh, you had Stokes. And you've got Stokes.
Yeah, Stokes.
You've got Stokes 12th man, JP. So let's put Stokes in at 6.
Stokes at 6, got you. Number 7?
Dhoni.
Yeah.
Number 8?
I think Rashid Khan. No.
Okay. He can bat a bit.
He is quality.
No, I don't know.
We'll put Bumrah at 11. That's fine. We'll keep. I reckon we'll keep Virat as the captain, maybe, and then we're gonna throw in Matai Mullathran at 9 and Lasith Malinga at 10. That's my suggestion. We're probably gonna need another batter, so Jadeja probably at 8, and then Rashid Khan at 9.
Okay. So I can't make sense of this. Can someone actually read out the full lineup then? Because I'm lost.
So Chris Gale, Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, AB de Villiers, Andre Russell, Ben Stokes. 8 is Jadeja. 9 is Rashid Khan. 10 is Lasith Malinga. 11 is Bumrah.
That's tasty.
12th and 13th man, JP Germany and Jemimah Rodrigues.
Yeah.
Liam Flint, head coach.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell you what to do.
Liam Flint, massage therapist.
Yeah, if AB wasn't around, I think you would have been my South African spot, JP, if it means anything.
Oh, Very cute of you, but no need.
So take hope.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's all good.
Okay,
Cool,
right.
man. Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
There you go. So if you agree with that, listening, let us know. If we've got that horrifically wrong, in which case, obviously, we're blaming Jemi because she had the final say.
I actually thought it was like a proper 11 on the batting order, so that's why I had added these three, but it's okay.
Mohamed Nabi coming in at 10, Bumrah at 8.
No. I actually thought like you want a balanced team, and I didn't know it was a batting order. It was my bad. I read it wrong.
Okay. Well, I look forward to this. Yeah, get in touch. Let us know your best 11s, and we'll see how many we got right.
So we definitely not using Jem as a coach in the immediate future. She can't pick an 11 properly.
Until she learns 1 to 11 and the batting order. No.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, awesome, man.
Okay. So, but just before we leave, any parting words this week coming up? JP, Jemi, any words of advice?
Yeah, just to be mindful of our surroundings and to understand that we're in this together. There's obviously a lot of panic and a lot of stress around the world at the moment with regards to COVID-19. And, the danger of something like this happening is that we go insular, we go internal, and we just think and care about ourselves. What this presents, or the opportunity that is presented to us to actually reach out to one another and really care for one another. So that's my encouragement, is to really step out of your comfort zones and really be a helping hand and a servant in many ways. If you think about Jesus didn't come to be served. He came to serve others. So that's my encouragement to everybody listening onto our podcast.
Firstly, my prayers to all those people out there, suffering, and so many families, going through this stuff. So, as JP said, we are all in this together, and I agree with what JP said. We can take this as an opportunity to help out others in various means, like whatever we can do. And lastly, it's just stay safe, be happy, and enjoy the moment you're in.
Exactly. What a great way to sign off. So yeah, we are done here. Once again, congratulations to Francois von Eck in South Africa, who has won our competition. So we'll be getting those signed spikes over to you. Thanks again to JP for doing that. And we'll be with you very soon in the next couple of weeks. So do stay tuned, and we'll speak to you very soon.
Peace out.
See you guys.